let's talk about the offseason because we're kind of in the thick of things right now. But let's talk about important dates and what we have to know and remember and keep in mind moving forward, because things are going to start happening very, very fast, okay? We are in mid-February. Crap kicks off in around 8 days. 8 days from now, we have the NFL Scouting Combine. We're going to start seeing players go up and down draft boards quick as anything. We're going to see third-round guys right now who are projected third round that you might never in a million years think are going to be a top 100 guys. They're going to be top 100 guys. Guys that you thought were going to get drafted in the first round are going to drop to the second and third round. And then the draft happens, and then those same guys completely flip-flop, and then they do go in the first round. It's, NFL draft. Anyway, that goes from February 24th to March 3rd. Then we have the franchise tag deadline. So this is March 4th at prior to 4 p.m. New York time, EST pretty much. Deadline for clubs to designate franchise or transitional tags or transitional players. So again, this is T. Higgins, right? I think it's kind of obvious at this point. We're going to franchise tag T. Higgins. If we give him the exclusive or non-exclusive tag, it really depends on where we are at negotiation status at that point. But again, we're talking about 16 days from now. Okay. That's less than 3 weeks away that we're going to have to get a tag or sign T. Higgins, or after March 4th, if we don't tag him by March 4th, the guy is going. So he's going to get tagged before March 4th if we cannot get a contract worked out or figured out somewhat close to where we feel comfortable. March 10th to March 12th, negotiation periods during the period begin at 12 p.m. noon EST on March 10th and ending at 4 p.m. on March 12th. So this is the negotiation period. This is right before free agency. So free agency kicks off on the 13th, I believe. Actually, no, it kicks off on the 12th. But this is like that, right before teams will make trades. Teams will you will find out like, this guy is said to sign with this team and this guy is said to sign with this team, right? So that's when we get kind of the information and everything starts kicking off in that category. And enter into contract negotiations with certified agents of players who will become unrestricted free agents upon the expiration date of their contract at 4 p.m. on March 12th. During the above two negotiation periods, a prospect undrafted free agent who is not represented by the NFLPA certified contract advisor is permitted to communicate directly with new club front offices officials regarding contract negotiations. The club is responsible for confirming status as an unrepresented player. So this is kind of like undrafted guys who might not have an agent, right? Who are just trying to get a chance at a spot on the team, or maybe it's a guy who is representing himself, right? Obviously the NFL wants everyone to have an NFLPA rep. I said they want to have an agent that is connected in some way and authorized by the NFLPA, but that simply isn't always the case. Sometimes people want to represent themselves, right? So when that happens, though, you kind of put in this spot of this is the second clause, right? No prospective unrestricted free agent is permitted. Where am I at? Is permitted to execute a contract with a new club until 4 p.m. So nobody's allowed to actually sign a contract until 4 p.m. on March 12th. That's when free agency kicks off. But you can pretty much have a verbal agreement to every standard possible, which a player can break and has broken in the past. March 12th, this is when at 4 p.m., players will sign with their said team. So all the previous trades that have been made / negotiations made, this will all go through on March 12th at 4 p.m. Also, people who haven't signed yet, that's when they also start getting signed at that time. Trading period for 2025 trading begins at 4 p.m. New York time after expiration of all 2024 contracts. So again, they can work out in that like 10 to 12th period. They can work out trades, but nothing is official until that 4 p.m. on March 12th. So nothing is official. So at any time, people can back out of trades, back out of contracts. The first day of the 2025 league year will end at 11:59 p.m. EST on March 12th, clubs will receive a personal notice that will include all transactions submitted to the league office during the period between 4 p.m. EST and 11:59 p.m. New York time on March 12th. On March 30th or April 2nd, we have the annual league meeting, the Breakers, Palm Beach, Florida. This is when they start discussing potentially new rules, new things they want to add to the NFL, right? This is when they start kind of breaking down that whole situation, which, again, always is fun. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. Anyway, clubs that hired a new head coach after the end of the 2024 regular season may begin the offseason workout program. That is going to be April 7th. April 16th, deadline for clubs to time, test, visit, and interview or conduct physical examination with draft eligible players at his club facility, which will be April 16th. Deadline for restricted free agents to sign offer sheets is April 18th. Clubs with returning head coaches may start the offseason workout program April 21st. April 23rd, that's when we got deadline for prior clubs to exercise right of first refusal to restricted free agents who signed offer sheets. Deadline for clubs to test, visit, and interview, including phone, video, and phone calls, or conduct a physical examination with a draft eligible player at any location. That obviously is more of the pro day stuff. It's when you get like individual private workouts, right, to see how good the player is. Then we have our draft at April 24th to 26th, where I will be live for those 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days. Okay, I will be live for all 3 of those days as always. I am every single year. May 1st, deadline for clubs to exercise a 5th-year option for players selected in the first round of the 2022 NFL Draft. Again, keep in mind, most teams have already exercised this 5th-year option, but anyone still on the fence, they have until May 1st. May 2nd to 5th, or 9th to 12th. This is kind of this weird 2nd to 12th, they should just say. Clubs may elect, actually, no, it's not 2nd to 12th because it's those 3 days or it's those 3 days. It cannot be 6 to 8. The May 6 to 8 is not part of this. It's either those 3 days or those 3 days. There's no combining them two. Clubs may elect to hold 1 3-day post-draft rookie minicamp from Friday through Sunday or Saturday through Monday as on one of the 2 weekends following the draft. So you can only do one. You can't do two. You can only do either the first one or the second one. You can't do them both. May 12th, rookie football development program begins. May 14th, NFLPA. NFLPA rookie premiere, Los Angeles, California. 20 to 21st, spring league meetings. So that's Coach Accelerators. June 1st, deadline to prior clubs to send June 1st tender to its unsigned restricted free agents. What we always talk about, the post June 1st cut dates. This is when you're going to see a lot of players, a lot of veterans get cut. It's like this, I guess you could call it like the fourth wave of free agency. This is like when we actually start seeing a lot of good, decent options get cut. A lot of veterans especially, and we can go pick them up. June 15th, Deadline the clubs to withdraw higher quality offers to restricted free agents and so remain exclusive negotiation rights by substituting lower June 15th tender of a 1-year contract at 110% of the player's prior year's paragraph salary. And then we have late June, which is rookie readiness program to be held at individual clubs. And then the best part about this, mid-June, July, obviously we're now getting into right before training camp, right? But this is the important thing for pretty much every single person who is worrying about the T. Higgins situation. July 21st at 4 p.m. New York Standard Time, EST. Signing period ends for transitional players with outstanding tenders. After this date until 4 p.m. EST on the Tuesday following the 10th weekend of the regular season prior clubs have exclusive negotiation rights. At 4 p.m. on EST on July 21st or the first scheduled day of the first training camp on July 16th in 2025, whichever is later, signing period ends for unrestricted free agents who a UFA tender was made by prior clubs. After this date until 4 p.m. on the Tuesday following the 10th week of the preseason, prior clubs have exclusive negotiation rights. Okay, no, this is not what I thought it was. July 25th, I believe, is the day. That's after that day, all players must sign the franchise tags. So they can't, after that day, you have to sign your franchise tag, or else you get fined heavily. And with that being said, if you don't sign your franchise tag, if you do, after that date, you cannot work out another contract until the end of the league year. Whereas, end of the season, not league year, season. Season just after week 18. League year would be March 12th. Every year. So yeah, so that's a lot of stuff going on this offseason, guys. So again, like I said, we're in the thick of things. We have 8 days before this starts really kicking off, and honestly kicking our butt in. So we're gonna see a lot of players cut in the next 8 days. We're gonna see a lot of players, potentially getting traded. And moving on. Peace out.